Hello everyone and welcome back to the Custard experience and welcome back to Autonauts. Last episode we created some tier 4 clothing. We created jumpers. They're all stored over here, we're not using them quite yet. This episode we're doing tier 4 housing in the shape of a stone cottage. Just quickly in the meantime, what I did since the last episode is I added some bots into the cereal area because we were running low on the cereal seed, and I also, in preparation for this episode, I've moved my turf prep guys to clear this area over here close to the water and the sand. That will become, the reason for that will become apparent real soon. Right, so in this episode we are looking at the stone cottage. It is quite an adventure to make. It has 6 stages. It requires a couple of new things that we don't currently make, which is a chimney and a fireplace, and also a door frame and a window frame. Those are all things that we can currently make and will require some bots to do that for us. So, to prepare for that, we need to do the following. I need to get some, there we go, so the masonry workbench, I'm going to need 2 of those. That's 1 each for the chimney and for the fireplace. I'm going to need some structural workbenches, there we go, and 2 of those. That's 1 each for the door frame and for the window frame. And we're going to need mortar mixers. I'm going to need 4 of those. That is quite an interesting thing to create. The reason we need mortar is, let's go find that quick. It is for the chimney. Yeah, for the chimney and the fireplace. I need mortar. And the way you make mortar is in the mortar mixer. You chuck in some clay and sand and fresh water, and out pops mortar. And you'll notice that mortar gets stored in that silo type thing. It's an interesting recipe. That's because the sand requires a bucket, fresh water requires a bucket, and mortar, as you can see there, requires a bucket to carry. So that's an interesting recipe. Anyway, while that's building, some other things I need. I'm running low on the stone track, so I'll just put that there. And I think that's what we need to queue up for now. Right, so to get mortar, I'm going to need clay. At the moment, the only place where clay is being stored is in this set of boxes over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a clay mover that will move the clay from that satellite base over there to my main base. And the reason why I clear this area is I need the space. I need the space for the mortar mixers. I don't want to use my existing freshwater supplies. That's currently being used for food over there, and the section over there, this is running really low. This little guy can't quite keep up keeping this full, so I don't want to mess with that. So I will just grab for the mortar. I will just grab water straight from this section over here, and the same thing with the sand. I can save 1 programming step by grabbing from this storage over here instead of straight from the sand. Either way will work. But let's do the clay mover first. We'll just put I think the clay is currently only needed for or in this area of the base. Oh, then again, I was going to say only for the mortar, but I've got a clay, BP clay. No, the mortar is quite a, it's quite a tough one. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the clay over there. So clay mover, this will be a very straightforward guy. I will give him a power upgrade, purely just to allow him to have more carrying capacity. So please fetch some clay over here until your hands are full, and then drop it off on the other side until your hands are empty. Easy one. And over there. Once this clay mover is done, we should be good and ready with the mortar mixers. If hands empty, go and fill your hands, then come this way. Alright, off you go. That'll do. And I'm gonna just create some more bots because I know that's gonna be needed. Okay. Let's see how these guys are going. I can pick up those mortar mixers and some roads. Oh, and there's even some flooring that I forgot about previously. Okay. Mortar mixers. How do I want to do this? I will just... Yep, like... No. We'll just do them straight up. Okay, like that. They don't require flooring or anything like that, but they do require a slightly complicated program. And I'm going to create one bot for each of these, so, and they definitely require brain upgrades. I'll just go and grab the brain upgrades right now. And as I move this way, I will grab these four and tell them to come to me. Alright. Okay, so the first one. So that will be a crafter mortar 1. Let me give you a brain upgrade and put the other brain upgrades in. Okay, so the program for mortar 1 is going to look like this. First, he's going to need a bucket, and I'm going to have a couple of spots during his process to fetch a bucket. So first, if your hands are empty, fetch, grab the bucket, grab hopefully a bucket out of your backpack. If your hands are still empty, then please go and fetch a bucket. So that's fine. So that code I'm going to use a couple of times, well, just twice in this program. So let's then go and fetch some fresh water in this area, which is not going to be that big. It will be anywhere in this area, please. No, whatever you feel is closest to your little station, that's fine. Okay, and go and, yep, that's got water. Then go and add it into the mixer. Then, to double check that the bucket didn't break at that moment, I'm going to copy this code to do another check to see, do you have, is your hands empty? Did the bucket maybe break? If the bucket broke during this step, then get from backpack. If that's still empty, go and get yourself a new bucket. So now he should have a bucket in his hands, and it should be empty. Get some sand. Oh, okay, not put the bucket down. Get sand, please. Maybe I should make some signs for this. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. I don't think it's necessary. There we go. Okay, so fetch some sand in that area and put it in your mortar station. Now, put your bucket in your backpack. Go and get some clay. Put it in your mortar mixer. Done. Okay, so that pops out mortar straight into the spot over there. Now, his hands are empty. So at the end of that, which is fine, so then I just do that. I do all of this. I repeat. I forgot to place down where the mortar is going to get stored. So I want to put the mortar. Don't quite want to put it too. Well, I suppose I can put it here. The mortar is going to be needed in the crafting area, in this area over here. I guess I can just move it. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I'll just put that over there. I don't know if I'm going to need that many. Okay, so where are you? If I just repeat this until that is full, and then do that further, that should work. So at the beginning of his, if he has a bucket in his hands, then he will pop past this, go and get some water, check if he's... I don't think this one is necessary. Maybe that's the one that's not necessary. Oh, that sound is research finishing. Okay, we'll get the finished research now. But this is, I think this is fine. So technically this one won't be necessary because if his hands is empty, so, well, no, I'm going to leave it in. Okay. If his hands are empty, get a bucket, get some water, drop the water off. If the bucket broke, see if there's a bucket in your backpack. If there's not, go and fetch one. Get some sand, drop it off. No, this, at this point, okay, yeah, get some sand, drop it off. If the bucket breaks at this point, the stow item will fail, so he will still have empty hands. If his bucket didn't break, he will put a bucket in his backpack. Move some the clay into the mixer, and now his hands are still empty, so he will fetch it out of his backpack. Perfect. So that's that, and I'm going to copy that up, and the research is finished. Alright, our poultry farming research is finished. We can now make a hen house. Let me just get him going, and let's just see what other research we want to do in the meantime. Yep, let's do the research quick, and then I'll copy Mr. Crafter Mortar 1 to 3 other bots. Windmill, basic smelting. It was the biggest storage that I would love to have. I don't think I can make a box frame yet. Oh, I don't think I make a box frame yet. Don't have much of a need for a windmill either. And I still don't make a coconut. I think the only thing that I can reasonably make is sure, the crude gear. Where's my crude gear? Do I have a crude gear? Oh. I'm sure I do. Crude gear? I do. Where are you? Of course. Down at the bottom here. There you are. Go drop it off. Okay, research is going on again. Alright, so let me... Oh, before I carry on with copying these guys, I do need to make a crafter mortar to storage. And all he's going to do, in actual fact, before I do that, he's going to look very similar to a water carrier. Yeah, water carrier. Because he's going to need lots of buckets, so that takes care of the lots of buckets, and then those two. No, not those two. I need a bucket. One moment. Is there a bucket just lying around here somewhere? No, I'll go and fetch a bucket. Okay. So he needs a bucket to be able to pick the mortar up out of this area and stick it into the storage. Alright. So let me go and grab that. And that will go into the... yep. It will go in there. Fill a bucket, cycle down, fill a bucket, cycle down. And then once all of his buckets are full, then you can go to the storage and cycle it down. Alright. Mortar to storage. The one thing I do need to do is I need to change this. This needs to be a, I think it's a 7x1 again. No, 1x7. Yes, please. So anywhere in there, please, when you find mortar, go and use a bucket. Come back here. No, you can go. Sorry, I'm not going to give you a bucket. Go and fill your hands with buckets. Okay. So now I can copy this guy's program to the other 3 bots. Okay. I have 4 mortar crafters. They each just work on their own mortar mixer, and the mortar to storage will fetch any mortar that it finds in any of those spots and take it in. Yeah. And I think the 240 max storage is probably fine. I don't think it's ever going to get to that max. Or then again, it might. But I think this is fun. This is fun. So that's mortar. That's mortar. Next up is the door frame and the window frame, and they kind of look the same. And I will put them in this area over here. But now that I've got an empty blueprint area, what I'd like to do, while I move there, I'm going to put these in the crafter group. And I guess you can just go into the clay group. My blueprint guys, I want them to all stop and come to me. Get out of the way, please. And then you can start up again, but in the meantime, what I would like to do is I would like to place down... Oh, these are bigger. I don't know if I've got space in this area for 12 of these. No, I don't. I'm gonna have to shrink it down to 9 again. Or I'm gonna have to relocate the folk. That might be an option. Or I can... Yeah, okay. I'm gonna keep them 12. So 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright. Okay, so I'm going to start that in the meantime. Because that takes a while. Okay, so let's do door frame. Door frame requires a structural workbench. There we go. And the door frame and the window frame, they both require that, so I'll just place them down like that in the meantime. Yeah, sure, like that. I will need a box for each of them. And just one box. I don't want to have a ton of window frames and door frames, because I think they are mostly either used for the stone cottage only, or for decorative vanity doors and windows for buildings, so which I'm not easily going to do. Okay, so, and then this will be a door frame, that will be a window frame. Okay. What does that look like? I'm going to need more bots. Please make more bots. Okay. The crafter door frame. This guy is fairly straightforward. He needs to get a square frame, a panel, a log, and 2 fixing pegs twice. And that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make him get 2 fixing pegs. Come on, thank you. So do that and then just bring it. And then what else? It was a log. Come on, little guy, you can do it. And a panel and square frame. Okay. I'm not making use of the backpacks in this case because half of these things can't fit in backpacks, and it uses up a step. So there, I've got one of each. Okay, so I just need to do all of this twice. 2 times. And then I want to do this until that is full. And then that's forever. And yes, he does need a brain upgrade, of course he does. Okay, oh, where did he go? He just went out of range. Okay, there we go. So I guess I can just quickly finish this. No, I'll just let him do that once, and then I'll interrupt him, and then he can start from scratch. Because I do want him to actually pick it up and put in the box as well, so I need him to finish his program. So let's just wait for him to do that. All through the magic of video editing, he is done, so please stop. Let me show you what it looks like to pick up a door frame and put it in a box. Here we go. Now you know how to do that. Please repeat that until your station is empty. That needs to go in there. But once it's moved everything twice, that will make the thing the door frame, and then you can move it into the box. Beautiful. Please carry on doing that. So the window frame is pretty much exactly the same thing, except it requires a pole instead of a log, and slightly less. Only 1 square frame, not 2, which means that the program is going to be slightly different, and I actually can do it in a single with a single bot. So do that. Let me go and get your brain upgrade because you're so gonna need one. There you are. Alright. Okay. Yeah, okay. So do that forever. I've run out of brain space. Okay. So, in actual fact, I think the door frame guy, I don't really need until storage is full because he will just get stuck on this thing again. I have a habit of doing that. Okay, well, there we go. Door frame, window frame, done. Next up is the fireplace and the chimney. Let me put those two away. Okay. So the fireplace and the chimney, they require the masonry bench, which is this one. And I think, yeah, I wanted to put it over here. And there's a reason for that. There, well. Alright. Let me make use some more of this up. Okay. So this one can be the fireplace, this one can be the chimney, and you can see that they are identical. They both require 10 stone, 5 mortar. And if you look at the amount of mortar that I've created, it's... Oh, yeah, okay, that's actually pretty good. Yep, okay. So... where do these... Okay, so these... I'm going to make an exception in my rule with storing everything in a box. These are really expensive to make in terms of stone and the mortar. So I'm going to make the bots only make one at a time. Which means these are going to take a bit longer to upgrade, but that's fine. We can't use them in this episode yet anyway. So let's do the fireplace first. Just the one. And... right, I think, no. The way I did this is I split up the bots. I made it into two bots because the amount of ingredients is just too much, and the complication of buckets, and I just didn't. No. Okay, so he has to fetch stone 5 times and take it back to the bench until his hands are empty twice. Okay, so start again. Okay, next is gonna be the crafter fireplace mortar. You are going to look very similar to a water carrier, where I want him to have as many buckets as he can fit into his backpack, and that's that top part. And then this, I want him to go and fetch mortar from there, and I want him to go and drop it off. There. And I think that's all that's needed. So he fills his hands in backpack with buckets, fetches mortar, drop it off over there, and that's it. I'm gonna copy him up, and I'm gonna copy him up. Because I need to do the exact same thing for the chimney. So let me do that quickly. One moment, please. Alright. I have a chimney stone carrier and a chimney mortar carrier. and they will just keep on going until there's, I see there's 2 now, but he's not putting any more stone in there because this is not full. So he will be in an infinite loop, perfect, and this guy will just stop right there. Okay, so we've got chimneys, we've got fireplaces, we've got window frames, we've got door frames. Excellent, we've got everything we need to finish the stone cottage, except for our 4 BP bots. So let me quickly create 4 blueprint carrying bots to pick up these and carry them to blueprints. So one moment. Okay, so I have the 4 blueprint guys. They're fairly straightforward. Catch your thing, leave your hands empty, stick it in a blueprint. All 4 of them pretty much exactly the same. I haven't started this one, so there we go, that one will start. There's 2 window frames needed, so this will be the first one that will get done. And we're running out of stone in the base area because there's a lot of stone required for these stone cottages. And there's a lot of stone required to make these. And I'm only making one at a time. So yeah, there's a lot of stone. So I actually had to go and borrow some stone over here during the making of those, the programming of those blueprint bots. But that is it. There we have our very first stone cottage, which we can't use. And the reason we can't use it yet is because for tier 4, the folk want toys. And the toys go, so you can do a plush pony or a doll, which is the tier 4 toys. And the plush pony requires a toy station, which I can make, 2 wool blankets, which I can make, thread, which I don't make yet, some buttons and some straw, but the thread requires a spinning wheel, which I can make, and string, which I really don't want to make because it's already tough making that because of the weeds required for the string. So I don't want to do that. I want to look at the doll, because the doll just requires poles, stone, wool blanket, and wooden buttons. And I can make wooden buttons with fixing pegs and a wood shaping bench, no problem. So tier 4 toy of choice will be the doll. But that's next episode. We have come to the end of this episode though. We created door frames, window frames, fireplaces, chimneys, mortar, all in one episode. Well, and the stone cottage. They will carry on going and will finish eventually. And once we have the toys for the folk in the next episode, we can move them all into their new houses, and then they will be giving us 1000 times WUV, which will make the research go so much faster. How much faster, you ask? 10 times faster, because that's how math works. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. My name is Newt. You've been watching the Custard Experience. If you like what you see and you'd like to see more, please do subscribe, like, comment, share, whichever one you want, or all of them if you like. I will see you in the next episode. See ya.